Hi guys, it's Paula and I hope you are doing well. It is really sunny outside today, so if things look weird, there is light just beaming into this house right now through my dirty windows, my dirty fingerprint dog slob covered windows. There's just light beaming in, so it's like, I don't know. This is going to be my monthly update for the Panner's Pan. We've been at this for a few months now. I'm having a ton of fun. This project was created by Elizabeth. She is at Cookie Pans over on Instagram. She is a dear friend of mine and she comes up with a lot of great projects. I talk about her constantly. And the point of this project is to link a product to a project panner, which is such a great idea. I love this idea so much. This is a rolling project and there is no end date. Elizabeth just wants it to go on forever because she wants to find all the project panners out there and follow them. She just loves project panning like I do, like a lot of us do. And the idea was once you hit a goal on an item, you could roll that item out and then roll in a new product for a new project panner. This is going to be a slow moving project for me. I'm in way over my head. So I decided at last month's update that regardless of whether or not I met my goal on an item, I would be adding in a new product for a new project panner. And that has really breathed some life into this project for me. I'm very excited and motivated for this project all of a sudden, and I'm really having so much fun. So I did not meet any goals on any products this month. But the general goal of using all of these products one time was met. I even painted my nails, OMG. I'm back on the wagon. So let me do a quick rundown of the products, who the project panners are that I put them in for, and then I'll tell you who I'm adding in at the end of this project. The first panner on my list is Amber F. And for Amber, I chose the original Naked palette from Urban Decay. If you have not seen her year of panning this palette, please do yourself a favor and go watch it. It is very motivating. It is very inspirational. She did it. She killed it. And a lot of people have tried since then, and a lot of people have not done it. Some people have, but she was one of the first. She created Pan That Palette. And as you can tell from my palette, there's not a ton of use. It's looking like it's in pretty good condition. And I just want to hit a pan in one of these shades. I'm kind of calling buck, but you guys know how I am. If I hit any pan, I'm rolling it out. I'm wearing this palette today. I have Half Baked on my inner corner. I have Smog on my outer corner. And I have Buck and Naked running throughout my crease and transition area. Love this palette. The second I put it on, I fell in love with it all over again. Every time I use this palette, I fall in love with it all over again. I had Toasted on last month and I was a little disappointed in that, but in general, Smog, I'm always happy with Smog. Every time I put Smog on, I fall in love with it all over again. It is just such a beautiful, flattering, smoky eye color. Not too dark, not too light. It's really fun. I like it a lot. There's no pan, but I did use this palette one time in the past month, so I got some use out of it. The next panner is Elizabeth herself. She is at Cookie Pans. She's the creator of this project, like I mentioned at the beginning. And for her, I put in this lip liner from ColourPop in the shade BFF. And the reason I put this pencil in for her is because this pencil was in a project we did together called the 2020 Vision Project Pan. And I really love that project. It was a favorite of mine. And of course, she created that project as well. So in honor of her, I put in this pencil. Do I have a new line? I used this several times over the past month. I have the slightest amount of progress, like maybe 3 millimeters, 1/4 of an inch, something like that. I don't know if you guys can see. Yeah, you should be able to see. That's where I was last month and that's where I am now. So I have a little bit of progress. It's not huge, but I did use this a few times in the past month and I am not wearing it today, as you may have guessed. Okay, the next panner is Jessica. She is Jessica Lee. Jessica is a good friend of mine. We do a weekly post on Instagram called Throwing Shade Thursday, where we pick a theme and do an eye look or a face look based on that theme. It's so much fun. She is one of the creators of the Fantastic Ladies, and Jessica has been one of my buddies like since the beginning of me starting my Instagram account. I think she found me right away and followed me, and I followed her back, and that's the end of the story. And Jessica and I have a running joke of our old stuff. It's just kind of funny. Like, not only do we both have a lot of old stuff, we have a lot of the same old stuff. And it is not uncommon for either one of us to pull out some old item from our stash that we put in a project, and the other one to be like, oh, I have that too. So not only do we have a lot of old stuff, but we have a lot of the same old stuff, which cracks us up. And ironically, for this project, we both picked the same old stuff. I think hers was a shower gel and mine is a body splash, but they were both an old Bath & Body Works product from the white ginger and amber scent line. I'm telling you, Jessica and I are like this. Anyways, I did make a new mark for this month. It's right below the mark from last month, but I did make enough progress to make a new mark, which is exciting. That's where I am now. I've used it a few times. I'm not using it that consistently, but I'm only working on this and another scent, so it's a little bit easier to give this some love, but I'm trying to give the other scent more love than this right now. I always joke that where you find Jessica, Amanda is never far behind. Those two are besties. They are the best of friends. Amanda is the other half of the Fantastic Ladies, and Amanda comes up with some amazing project ideas. She has a very creative mind, and I love her so much. And for Amanda, I chose a powder from this Real Cheeky Party Blushing Beauty Kit. I think it's going to be Rockateur, but like any of these palettes, if I hit pan on anything, I'll count it and it'll roll out. I am wearing Rockateur today. It's a nice neutral pink blush. I love neutral pink blushes. I think today is the first time I've used this blush since last month's update, and I don't think I've used any of the other powders either, so only one use. The next panner I want to talk about is Chic Geek. She is awesome. She's another panner that I've known. Like everybody I'm talking about today are people that have been buddies of mine for years and years and years now. And I'm very attached to these people. If you don't know, I'm very attached to all these people, and I highly recommend all of them. If you follow them on Instagram or here on YouTube, if they have channels, go support them, because these are my buddies. But anyways, for Chic Geek, I chose a nude lip gloss because she loves her nude lip glosses. This is a ColourPop lip gloss in the shade Curvy, and I'm not wearing it today, but I have worn this several times in the past month. There's no new fill line or anything. It's not going down at all, but I like this a lot. I actually had this on in my last video, I think. This was the lip gloss I was wearing. So yeah, great lip gloss. It's a little bit thick, a little bit opaque. Sometimes I'm looking, I think I said this last month too, sometimes I'm looking for something a little bit more sheer, but this is good. I have no complaints about it. The next panner is Alex. She is Alejandra Lisette, and she is awesome. When I think of Alex, I think of her love of indie shadows and indie makeup in general, and so for her, I chose this indie shadow from Luxie Beauty in the shade Halo. I used this one time in the past month as an inner corner highlight. I think I only used it one time in the past month though. Not a ton of use on this, but this is for Alex. And my other single is for the project panner Mission Minimal. She's only on Instagram, but I highly recommend her account. You guys have heard this from me before, but she literally has my absolute #1 favorite account on Instagram ever. Hands down, her account is my favorite account. When I'm feeling the urge to shop, I go to her account. When I'm feeling like I need inspiration for decluttering, I go to her account. Her account inspires me in so many ways. I would highly recommend it. And for her, I chose this MAC single in the shade Corey. And I actually worked really hard to hit my goal on this over the past month, and I thought I would, and I didn't yet. I betcha I'm gonna hit pan tomorrow. I betcha I'm gonna hit pan tomorrow. Look at this dip. It is just huge. It's like a crater. I have a crater of a dip. These pans are thick. These MAC pans are hard to hit pan on. But I use this at least 15 days in the past month. I use this a ton. So no pan yet, still working on it, but I think I will have pan on this by next month. I think I should have pan on this by next month. And my first item will be rolling out of this project. All right, this next product is representing two panners. That is Kyra from Journey in Beauty and Rachel from Rachel Stephanie. And that is my Jaclyn Hill and Morphe Collab palette. I have been really enjoying this palette so much. I love it. Every time I use this palette, I love it. I love the eye look I create. I love the way it blends. I love the colors. I have no complaints so far about this palette. I've really been enjoying it. I'm still giving most of my attention to these kind of mattes, like right around here. This is where my brush tends to go. And those are the shadows that I feel like I need to support whatever eyeshadows I'm also project panning, just these kind of mattes to kind of warm up the look or, you know, set up the crease or whatever. I have not been playing around with these. I really thought I was gonna be going for Obsessed more, but I haven't had a chance to reach for it at all. Sometimes I use these two shades, actually this one. Sometimes I use this shade as a brow bone highlight or an inner corner highlight. But yeah, most of my attention is right around where these warm mattes are. That is my favorite. I did film a video this past month where I tried to dupe a look from Raw Beauty Christie, and I used this palette for a big part of that. So if you haven't checked that out, check it out. I tried my best. I thought I did a pretty good job. But yes, as soon as I hit pan on one of these shades, this palette will be rolling out. But this is for Kyra and Rachel. Okay, I have another twofer. For Rebecca Morgan and Jocelyn Claire, I have this Maybelline Color Tattoo in Fool's Gold. I have this on as an eye base today, and I think this is the only time I've used this in the past month. So I did use it once, but only once. I like this a lot. It's actually growing on me. I have to use it as a base. I think when I originally bought this product, I was thinking it would be like a shimmery topper, like a Stila Magnificent Metals kind of a product. I don't think that's really the point of this. It's like an eye base similar to the pots. You put it on, you blend it out with your fingers, and it really sets up the eye for a nice look. But on its own, it's patchy, it's thin, it doesn't really do anything on its own. But as a base, perfect. I like the shade very much. This is a great fall, winter shade. So I've been enjoying it, but I've had to prioritize some other eyeshadows over this one. So only one use. The next project panner I want to talk about is Alexi, and for her I chose this blue eyeliner from Jante Blue in the shade Electric Blue. I did wear this once, but only once. No real progress to mention on this. She's not only a really fun project panner to watch, but where I think Alexi shines even more is as like a makeup artist. And I don't know if she's actually a makeup artist. I don't think she is, but I mean, she's a makeup artist. You should see the looks she creates. They are gorgeous and they are art. She is an artist. And I often feel very inspired after watching her videos. I love how while she's panning items, she shows the different looks she creates with the items. It's just awesome. Alexi's really good about putting together some interesting color combinations in a way that I would have never considered. So that's awesome too. So sometimes she gives me a lot of inspiration for like, oh, I should try that because, you know, that looks interesting. And I would have never thought of it if it wasn't for Alexi and her eye looks. So I really appreciate that she shows the eye looks of the products that she's panning. It helps a lot. Okay, at last month's update, I decided to roll in this nail polish. This is a Julie G textured nail polish in the shade Sugar Plum Fairy, and this was for Mariella. Mariella's nails are always on point. If you watch any of her Shop My Stash videos, you will enjoy a beautiful manicure along with watching her shop her stash for whatever makeup products she's using. It's always a ton of fun. And so I rolled this in honor of her. I had been feeling this polish for quite a while and I needed an excuse to use it. This is a textured polish, and what that means is that it feels a little bit like sandpaper, and that is my only complaint about this polish. I have like a sensory issue whenever I'm wearing this, and although I know I could just put a ton of clear top coat on top of it to smooth it out, I'm trying to like get used to it. I'm trying to just get used to the feel of it because it's actually really cool as is, and you don't have to wear a top coat with it. If you want it to look really grainy and textured, you don't put the top coat on. And I kind of like the way it looks without the top coat. I just don't like the way it feels. So I don't have the top coat on today and I'm trying to get used to it. I almost felt like I could get away with one coat with this polish. It's very opaque and it's fairly thick because of all the sand or whatever is in here. It is a very thick coat even if I'm trying to be thin with it. I think I could get through this polish relatively quickly compared to a lot of other polishes that have just a thin formula. I'm already down to like here. And I think I've used it once before now, but with just 2 uses, I can already see how low I've gotten. So I think I could actually get through this relatively quickly if I wear it consistently, but we'll see. But this is from Mariella. Her channel, like everybody else's, will be linked down below. Mariella dared me to wear this red lip. So Mariella, this red lip is for you because you double dog dared me to wear a red lip and I'm wearing it for you. All right, it is time to bring in a new product and talk about a new project panner. It's almost difficult to decide which project panner I'm going to talk about because there are so many more project panners I need to talk about, and it's hard to know which one to talk about first. So that's why I decided to roll in a new project panner every month regardless of whether I meet my goal, because I have a lot of project panners to talk about. And to be honest, I suppose my ultimate goal is to have every makeup item in a project pan at one time so that I could just work on my entire collection at the same time. I mean, that's really the goal for me, apparently, because my bathroom is very full of makeup right now. And I just keep putting more makeup in project pans. And I think I really just want to pan my entire makeup collection at the same time and not have any focus whatsoever. So, the project panner that I'm rolling in for this month is Elizabeth, not Kooky Pans Elizabeth, my other Elizabeth. Her and I did a collaboration for 1.5 years called Shopping Our Stash. That's where we picked a color for every month and shopped our stash. I had a lot of fun doing that project, but I did get a little burnt out at the end, and Elizabeth was about to have her baby daughter, and I suggested to the group that I might duck out of the project. And Elizabeth decided to drop out too. So the project ended. There was a third project panner that had joined us along the way. Her name is Mercedes, and she might still be doing it, although I don't think I've seen her upload a Shopping Our Stash video lately. So maybe she stopped, I'm not sure. But anyways, over the time that Elizabeth and I did our Shopping Our Stash videos, I really got to know her well. We were communicating regularly, and I still talk to her fairly regularly now, but she's busy as a new mom with a new baby. And because we're not doing this Shopping Our Stash project anymore, there's no reason for us to have to talk. So we're not doing it as consistently as we used to. But anyways, I love Elizabeth. Her channel will be added to the group down below, so you could check her out as well. And in honor of the Shopping Our Stash collab videos that we did together, I decided to pick a product from the first color that we ever did together. And for that first color, that first Shopping Our Stash we did together, we did it for the color of the year, the Pantone color of the year, which was Living Coral. It was so much fun to shop our stash for that shade, and I love that color. So in honor of Elizabeth, I decided to pull out my Too Faced Just Peachy Mattes palette. And I have chosen this shade right here called Peach Punch. If you didn't know, the scent of this palette is my absolute favorite scented palette ever. This is my favorite scent. I love the scent of these peachy matte palettes. The peach foundation smells very similar. The peach primer smells very similar. I love the smell of all of these products so much. They say it's infused with peach and sweet fig cream, and whatever that combination is, I love. So I am rolling this pan of eyeshadow in for Elizabeth right there. I think it will definitely be able to spice up some of my eye looks, and I can't think of really any eyeshadow I'm panning that looks quite like that. It's really a unique shade compared to everything else I'm project panning, as far as I can tell. Maybe there's something I'm forgetting, but I think this is relatively unique to everything else I'm project panning. All right, guys, that is it for this update of the Panner's Pan. So excited to have another product to work on. So overwhelmed, so excited and overwhelmed. and I'm really having fun with this project. Again, my goal is just to use all of these products at least one time in the month, but I am trying to focus on a couple of them a little bit more than one time a month. But regardless, I'll be rolling in a new panner at the next update no matter what. I have all of the project panners that I mentioned in this video listed down below, so check them out if you're not following them already. I think you would love them, and I obviously recommend all of them, obviously. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, I do hope you consider subscribing, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.